The chapter Freedom, a Political Theory book. Question 5 is what is meant by the freedom of expression. So we mean by the freedom of expression to express our views through speech, through writings, through any mean. For example, making writing in the blog, making caricatures, and everything. What in your view would be a reasonable restriction on this freedom? Give example. Freedom of expression is considered to belong to the minimum area of non-interference, that is a negative liberty, according to the provision of the Indian Constitution. It is fundamental right. Society bears some inconvenience caused by freedom of expression to protect it from the people who want to restrict it, because your freedom of expression should not be legal, or we can say unnecessary harm to other people if they are right. So they try to restrict that. Society cannot restrict people from expressing themselves freely, whether it agrees with their views and or not. And there is a famous quote that whether I agree with your views or not, but I will try to protect your views of expression. There is a famous quote, a reasonable restriction of freedom of expression is one that allows society to function smoothly and curbs interference in privacy. The restrictions are reasonable as they are necessary to run the society smoothly. Talking about some reasonable restriction of freedom of speech. So freedom of speech can interfere in someone's privacy. Employees or royal household on England that are considered by contracting the form. These are not contemporary examples. Another example of protecting freedom of speech is on a film censor board. Censor board on films ban some portion of film to prevent adverse effect on society and disturbance of the peace. So when there is a harm in a mass scale, there is a potential harm is seen to the state, to the citizens, then they censor. Question 4: what is the role of a state in upholding freedom of citizens? So the state upholds the freedom of its citizens by providing certain rights to them, and state maintains justifiable constraints or reasonable restrictions too on the people, so they cannot harm others and their freedom. State provide positive liberty to citizens to ensure them to expand their ability and talent. State define and checks other regarding actions of people in order to maintain social stability. What is meant by social constraint? Social constraints are the external controls on individual freedom maintained by the society. You can say the state puts some constraints just to control others' freedom and the liberty. Are constraints of any kind necessary for enjoying freedom? The government as a part of the society controls individual freedom through laws and embodies the power of a government and are legitimized. Yes, constraints on freedom are also a result of social inequality. We can say that constraints are essential to enjoy freedom, as constraints are necessary to develop respect for views and belief of others. It is necessary for the creation of society. Absence of constraint would lead to imposition of beliefs and ideas of a stronger group, eventually led to conflict, and there are constraints that require to control violence and settle disputes. Question 2: what is the difference between negative and positive concepts of liberty? So talking about the negative liberty first, it defines the benefit area of individuals' life where no external authority can interfere. Second, it is not concerned with the condition of the society. It is concerned about explaining the idea of freedom from the negative liberty. This area comes into personal domain of the individual too, and the more negative liberty leads to more freedom. Talking about positive liberty defines the area of society where the individual can be freed with some constraint made by the society and the government. Positive liberty is concerned with the enabling condition of the society, not with the condition of the society. It is concerned with explaining the idea of the freedom. Positive liberty is area coming to social domain of the individual, and positive liberty checks access to the excess of freedom to the individual would be an obstruction to the social stability. We have the first question: what is meant by freedom? Freedom is a situation that limits the constraint on the individual, that allows them to expand their ability and reach their potential. Is there a relationship between freedom of the individual for the freedom of the nation? So freedom allows the full development of individual creativity, sensibility, capability, and the autonomy to make choices. Freedom permits the individual to exercise their power of reason, judgment. And yes, there is a relationship between the freedom for the individual and freedom for the nation. As a free nation allows the full development of individual's talent, ability by making a fewer constraints on the individual. Individual is said to be free only if she resides in a free nation. A nation is said to be free if it has this freedom as one of the principles, and only it has provided this to these people. This is where individual freedom and national freedom are closely related to each other.